FOX61, Connecticut's news station, starts with a weather impact alert.
Now at 6, a weather impact alert for this hot weather that we have on Thursday. But before you head to a state park to take a swim to cool off, some of them are closed due to high levels of bacteria. Fox 61's Priscilla Meza is in Shelton at one of those parks where you should not be swimming. We'll go to her live in just about 2 minutes to get the latest on what you need to know.
But first, we do have that weather impact alert for you. Another hot day out there. Thank you for joining us on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Glenn Kittle.
And I'm Jamel Johnson. Meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli joins us with the forecast. Had hot day after hot day after hot day this week. What do we got? I mean, do we have a slowdown?
Another hot
up?
one
Yeah.
today.
ACs.
Yeah.
Stay in the car.
Find a way to cool off, because during the peak of this, it's going to be another one that's going to be pretty hard to be outside for a long period of time. One more steamy day, though, before we have better conditions that start to build in. You're really going to notice the difference tomorrow morning and for tomorrow afternoon. A heat advisory in place for today for the state for temperatures that feel like 95 to near triple digits for a prolonged period of time. It really is the National Weather Service's way of letting you know that you want to avoid strenuous activity outside and kind of limit your activities outside today. Satellite and radar picture is quiet now. We do have clouds streaming in. You can see we do have some activity down to the south of us, some thunderstorms just south of Long Island. We are watching maybe a potential for a shower or two first thing this morning. It's not going to be a widespread issue. This afternoon, mainly in the early evening, we are watching a front that sweeps through. That could bring the potential for another opportunity for some isolated storms. Again, coverage would be limited, but a couple of those could pop to severe weather levels, so we'll have to watch that. Main concern is going to be some gusty winds and those embedded downpours within those thunderstorms. Over in New Haven right now, it's 81 degrees. It's just really warm across the state to start us off at 78 in Meriden and 74 in Torrington. Humidity is up this morning, too. You certainly don't need me to tell you that as you step out the door. It's just another day where it's the air that you can wear. 93 degrees in New Haven, 92 in Hartford today. We'll make a run in the lower to middle 80s in southeastern Connecticut. As we head through tomorrow, though, it does turn a little bit better, and even for the first half of our weekend. We'll have more details on that coming up in just a bit. As we check in with the roads this morning here at about 6:02, we are following just our delays that are starting to build over in Fairfield County now. So you're looking at about an 8-minute drive from Bridgeport into Fairfield, southbound 95. That's pretty standard here for a 6 o'clock hour. Trumbull to Westport is 11 minutes. Delays haven't started to build yet on the Merritt Parkway. Glenn.
Rachel, thank you. And just a reminder, Connecticut's hot weather protocol is in effect right now and will last until Friday at 8 p.m. This means cooling centers will be open. To find the closest one to you, just dial 211 on your phone or go to 211ct.org. We'll have all that information as well on our website at fox61.com.
And if you are looking for a place to stay cool today, we've got a warning before you head out to one of those Connecticut state parks.
Yeah, 3 popular swimming spots are closed after officials tested the water for bacteria. Fox 61's Priscilla Meza is live in Shelton with more details. Priscilla?
Good morning. I'm live here at Indian Wells State Park. It's going to be hot today, and that weather impact alert is in effect. So it's important to know this is not a spot where you can cool off. Now, the rest of the park will be open after 8 a.m., but health officials are saying that this is not a place that you can go swimming after a recent water quality test found bacteria. Now, this is one of 3 state park swimming areas where you won't be able to dive or dip your toes in today due to water quality concerns. Officials will need to treat and retest the water before it can safely reopen. State officials said they try to schedule follow-up tests within the next day when a closure takes place. From Memorial Day to Labor Day, crews test the water quality tests at state beaches, lakes, and ponds on a weekly basis. Here's a look at the other spots closed today: Gardner Lake State Park in Salem and Lake Warramug State Park in Kent. The good news, all shoreline spots are open today. You are encouraged to check online before you head to a state park or beach. We've got a link on to that on fox61.com. Just click the link pages. Again, the rest of the Indian Wells State Park is open today. Remember, if you plan to head to a state park or beach, just make sure to get there early because those parking spots can fill up fast. Live in Indian Wells State Park, I'm Priscilla Meza, Fox 61.
All right, our team coverage of this heat and humidity continues.
But in this weather, where better to be than the beach? Those lucky enough to spend some time on the shoreline were able to enjoy some of the warmest weather we've had so far this summer. Fox 61's Victoria Anderson was at Hammonasset Beach, where people soaked up the sun.
Wednesday might not have been the best day to wear heels to work, but it is the best day to dip your toes in the water, something that Connecticut isn't always used to on our shores.
It's hot, but experts say these coastal temperatures are not ones to let float by. Wednesday, water on the coast reaching 79 degrees in New Haven.
It's really warm. You have to swim out to the buoy to get cold or cool water.
And don't worry if you missed out on this warm weather today. These hot temperatures are supposed to stick with us throughout the week. Reporting at Hammonasset Beach, Victoria Anderson, Fox 61.
Now at 6, a judge reduced the bond for the man charged in a crash that hurt a pair of state troopers. This video is from that day. Investigators say 18-year-old Joel Kaizanish drove recklessly and lost control of his car during a rainstorm when he hit those 2 troopers on I-91 North in Enfield. Fox 61 Stephen Reels has more about the suspect's appearance before a judge.
It's been 1 week since state police say Joel Kaizanish lost control of his car on I-91 North and hit 2 state troopers. The crash sent 5 people to the hospital, and the state originally wanted the 18-year-old held on a $100,000 bond. But on Wednesday, that amount was greatly reduced.
Bond will be set in the amount of $20,000.
An emotional response from Joel Kaizanish during a virtual court appearance Wednesday afternoon. The teen now faces a reckless driving charge for this crash on I-91 North July 10th, an act state police say he did without a license. In her argument, Kaizanish's public defender Amanda Karen said the Waterbury High School rising senior has no previous criminal record. She also argued the weather conditions played a big role in the crash and the one that happened before it. And while there was claims Kaizanish's excessive speeding towards 85 miles an hour, those were not proven.
This comes from no radar gun, no police officer, from another person just driving on the road, estimating what they think the defendant is driving.
But this won't be the only court case the teen will have to face. On Wednesday, the Department of Homeland Security confirmed Kaizanish is in the country illegally after coming from Ecuador back in 2023. DHS tells us it already lodged a detainer for his arrest. And while not a direct response for the case, Karen confirmed the 18-year-old was in contact with an immigration lawyer.
The judge presiding over his case says that Kaizanish is expected back in court on August 8th. In Hartford, Stephen Reels, Fox 61.
And medications that help people with type 2 diabetes can be costly. That includes drugs like Ozempic, which have increased in popularity and demand for their weight loss benefits. And last year, one nonprofit reported about 2.5 U.S. adults who need these drugs say they can't pay for them. State lawmakers say they hear the complaints and have a unique idea to bring down the cost. Fox 61's Celine Arif explains.
In order to get your hands on a GLP-1 like this, you will need a prescription from a healthcare provider. But not all insurance companies cover GLP-1s for weight loss, so just a month's supply could set you back hundreds or up to more than $1,000. Might not look like much, but the amount of GLP-1 drugs you see here comes with a heavy price tag for pharmacies.
Like $20,000 easy.
It's a problem pharmacists and lawmakers like State Senator Matt Lesser say can't be ignored.
The cost of GLP-1s is very high, and we know that the demand out there is enormous. You know, we have an obesity epidemic in the country.
Some of the insurances pay for everything, including the weight loss or a type 2 diabetes. And some of the insurances have a restriction saying that is like, oh, it's only for the type 2 diabetes, not for the weight loss. Weight loss is considered as a cosmetic.
That's why when Governor Ned Lamont signed the bipartisan drug affordability bill in July, lawmakers included this provision.
What we're trying to do is get permission from the federal government to go and work with a generic drug manufacturer to make our own Ozempic or another GLP-1 to say that they are going to set aside the patent in this particular case.
Tackling the health crisis and making history by finding a workaround what many call big pharma.
The federal government has threatened to and states have threatened to do it before, but we're further along than any other state has ever been.
Hartford pharmacy owner Praveen Dulipala says he's seen firsthand how much these drugs have given his customers their health back, and he hopes that something like this could give even more of his customers the tool to help them manage their weight.
If the insurance is not covering and the person cannot handle it with the $1,200 or like maybe $1,000 a month, and they cannot get it, it's not fair.
Lesser says the next steps are reaching out to the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., about greenlighting the idea and then working with a company to get FDA approval. Reporting in Hartford, Solene Arif, Fox 61.
Now, a Bridgeport man convicted in one of Connecticut's most notorious murder cases is free. Adrian Pueller was released from federal prison yesterday after he served time for drug charges. He had already finished a 25-year state sentence for his role in the 1999 murders of 8-year-old B.J. Brown and his mother, Karen Clark. President Joe Biden commuted Pueller's federal sentence in January in his last days in office. That led to backlash from some state leaders. Bridgeport Mayor Joe Ganim is expected to speak about the situation later this morning. Fox 61 will be there and will bring you the latest, including his message on the news at 5 and 6 this evening.
And a car crashed into Katz Hardware in Glastonbury yesterday. This was the scene on Main Street at 4 in the afternoon. The car didn't go through the building, but it left a big dent and shattered a window. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
Well, we all came running, and our cashier got the brunt of it. She's a little shooken up. We drove her home today. But yeah, she's got some glass in her hair and so forth, and she's a little shooken up.
Glastonbury police say no one will be arrested because this was merely an accident. A building inspector will check to make sure the building is still structurally sound.